You ever hear the sound of rain hitting dead leaves in the middle of nowhere? It's peaceful, until you realize you're not alone out there. Until you hear footsteps that don't match yours, and a voice whispering your name when no one should even know you're there. That was my night. A night I'll never forget. A night in the woods that still haunts every quiet storm I hear. I was 24 when it happened. Late October, cold enough that the air bit at your skin, but not enough to keep you from wanting to escape somewhere quiet. I had just broken up with my girlfriend, lost my job, and honestly, I just wanted to vanish for a while. So I drove 3 hours north to a place called Haven Pines Reserve, a stretch of forest I'd visited as a kid with my father. It was remote, beautiful, and mostly forgotten by tourists this time of year. The roads were slick with drizzle, and by the time I parked my car on the dirt path, night was already crawling in through the trees. I set up my tent near a small clearing by the stream. The sound of the water and the steady patter of rain felt comforting, like nature itself was washing away the noise of my life. For hours, I just sat by the campfire, listening to the hiss of raindrops hitting the flames and the occasional crack of thunder in the distance. It was around 11:40 p.m. when I first noticed something strange. A sound so faint I almost dismissed it. It wasn't the rain or the wind. It was tapping. Slow, deliberate, and close. I turned my flashlight toward the sound. The beam cut through the mist and hit the trees. Nothing there. Just wet bark glistening. But then there it was again. Tap, tap, tap. This time it came from behind me. I spun around, light shaking in my hand. The woods stretched endlessly in every direction, just shadows and dripping branches. Maybe it was a branch swaying in the wind, I thought. Maybe a woodpecker. But something about that rhythm, 3 taps, a pause, then 2 more, felt too intentional. I went back to my tent, zipped it shut, and told myself I was overthinking. I lay down, listening to the rain on the nylon roof. But soon the tapping changed. It wasn't wood anymore. It was softer, wet, like fingers pressing lightly against the outside of the tent. I froze. My heart slammed against my ribs. The tapping continued, just above my head this time, slow and patient. I didn't dare move. Then, in the middle of the rain and thunder, I heard a whisper, low, drawn out, right next to my ear. "Are you awake?" Every muscle in my body locked up. I didn't breathe, didn't blink. It sounded like a man's voice, raspy, deliberate, almost curious. I waited. Seconds passed, maybe minutes. Then nothing. No more tapping. No voice. Just rain. I don't remember falling asleep, but I must have drifted off from exhaustion. When I woke up, it was still dark. My watch read 3:17 a.m. The rain had lightened to a drizzle, and there was a faint glow outside, moonlight filtering through clouds. That's when I noticed the footprints. Around my tent. Dozens of them. Bare feet, large, adult-sized, pressed deep into the wet mud. They circled the tent multiple times, overlapping each other like someone had been pacing there for hours. I tried to convince myself it was some lost hiker, but no one hikes barefoot in freezing rain. And then, I saw something that made my stomach twist. Right by the tent door, written in the mud with a finger, were 3 words. "Still awake now?" My hand shook as I grabbed my flashlight and unzipped the tent. The forest was still. Too still. No animals, no insects, not even the wind. I swept the light across the clearing. That's when I saw him. A tall figure standing just beyond a tree leaf. Not moving, just standing. Watching. He was drenched, clothes clinging to his skin, his hair plastered against his face. He didn't speak, didn't flinch when the light hit him. I shouted something like, "Who are you?" But my voice cracked halfway through. He didn't answer. He just turned slowly and walked back into the woods. I thought about running to my car, but it was a half-mile away, and the path was pure mud. So I waited. All night, sitting upright in my tent, flashlight in hand, every sound amplified by fear. At some point, maybe around 5 a.m., I heard it again. The same tapping. But this time, it came from inside the tent. I scrambled out so fast I nearly ripped the zipper off. My flashlight fell into the mud, flickering, and in that brief strobe of light, I saw him again, crouched where my sleeping bag had been. His head tilted, eyes reflecting the light like an animal's. He grinned. And then he said, almost playfully, "You shouldn't have come back here." I ran. Through the mud, the rain, branches whipping at my face. I didn't care where I was going. I just needed distance. By the time I reached my car, the sky was turning gray with dawn. I didn't look back. Didn't stop driving until I hit the nearest gas station 20 miles out. When the clerk saw me mud-covered, shaking, eyes wide, he asked if I was all right. I told him what happened, and he just looked at me for a long time before saying, "You camped at Haven Pines?" I nodded. He sighed. "Son, no one goes there anymore." "Not since the Parker case." I frowned. "What case?" He leaned closer. "Man disappeared up there in '94. Park ranger found his tent, footprints all around it. Same message, written in the mud. Still awake now. I never went back. But sometimes on nights like this, when the rain hits my window just right, I swear I still hear the tapping. 3 times. Plus, then 2 more. Like someone reminding me they're still out there. Still awake.